Hello everyone, happy Sunday. I hope that you're all well and you're having a lovely weekend. I'm just going to give this a minute to go live properly so everyone can see. Hopefully that light is okay. I hope that those that joined in on Stamping Up's Creativity Now event yesterday had a fabulous time. I know that I had a great time and it was fun to craft with my crafty friend Donna. Rightio. Almost ready to go. That's all good. Make sure that's all turned up. So I'm home alone today. My partner's at work, but that means that I'm on mum duty as well. So I hope that Elijah is not too noisy out there because, you know, I get gaming. I think my camera's a bit dirty. I'm just going to, sorry about this, I'm just going to give that a bit of a wipe. Okay, I probably just made it really uneven. I'm just going to get what do they call it? Going on a car ride. Radio. So I do apologise that I changed the live. Was supposed to be last night, but you know, these things happen, and after I did the Creativity Now event, I was really tired, but also my in-laws came over and they ended up staying quite late. So I thought I would just reschedule, which sometimes that stuff happens. So if you are logging on, let me know that you're here, and if you know anyone that would like to watch, feel free to share the video. It always means the world. I can't see that. Hope I'm live in the right spot. Okie doke. It's been 3 minutes, so I think I will just get started, and when you're joining, pop on, say hello. If you're watching the replay, I love reading your comments, so feel free to leave a comment. I'd love to say hello. And thanks to all those that support my little videos, it means the world. So I won't talk too much at the beginning of the video because there is a bit to this card. I hope it's not too complicated, but I have broken it down into the easiest steps I can. Today I'm using the Full of Life suite from Stampin' Up. Now when this catalogue got released, I was so excited when I saw this suite because I love bright colours, and this is bright all over. I just love it. So this is the bundle, the Friends for Life bundle, and it comes with these beautiful stamps and dies, and I just love it. I love the words, I love the images, but the dies are actually my favourite. I do have them here, but I've taken one of the dies out, which you'll see in a moment because I'm actually using it on the card. So these are beautiful, and they come with these gorgeous iridescent faceted gems, which is stunning, and the beautiful papers, which you can tell that I love them because I have chopped mine up like crazy. But I've got, let's see, there's these beautiful tiled rainbow patterns and some watercolour looks. There's a few different sort of tones in here that you can use. They're absolutely stunning. I love these ones, and I'm using one of these on my card today. And I think there's a smaller version of this tile as well, but as I said, you can see how much I have been loving it because it's been chopped up like crazy. Hello Maheshwari, how are you? Did you go yesterday? So yes, I'm using this one, and I can't wait. The only thing I didn't use is the ribbon. I don't think there's actually any ribbon on this card. Oh yes, that's right, you are in India. I hope the weather's okay. I don't know. Oh, this is so crooked. Okie doke. So I'm using that, and if you stick around till the end, I'm going to show a sneak peek of both the projects I did yesterday and some new product. So I will share that at the end. So this is my host code. If you want to shop any of these supplies, they're in my Stampin' Up online store. So they are all there. And the actual bundle that I'm using today is an extra 10% off this month. So you can grab that for even cheaper. Hello Sonia, how are you? So I will share the cards that I made. I'll share the one that I'm showing today first. Oh, thank you so much, Sonia, for showing my video. So this is the card I'm making today. Now it's totally cased off Shruti Patil. I'm not sure if that's how you say her name. Well, she shared this mountain fold card on her YouTube, and I wanted to make it, but it actually used cardstock that was 32 centimeters. Now, if you use our 12 by 12 cardstock, it translates to being 30.5 centimeters. So you would need a piece bigger than a 12 by 12 cardstock piece. So I wanted to play around with it, and I sent a picture to my friend Leanne, and my desk was crazy because these are my templates. I had to sort of mess around for so long to get the mechanism to work down in a smaller size. And then I wanted to make it work for Imperial as well. So I did even more maths, and it was just getting crazy. So sometimes I change the school folds and mess around with it until it works. So I had a piece of paper with all kinds of mathematics on it, which maths is not my strong point, I will admit. So this one is actually the Imperial version, and this one's the metric. Now I want to show you the difference. The Imperial version that I came up with is just a little bit shorter this way. But the cool thing about the Imperial version is that you can do it out of A4 or 8.5 by 11 cardstock, whereas the metric one uses a 12 by 12 sheet. So you can do either or. I just wanted to have both measurements on there. So when you open this card up, you see these panels here, and then you pull them out and it makes a mountain fold card, which is really cool, and it can sit up to be displayed to show a really cool pattern. Now, the thing I like about this fold is that if you have, which I'll show you in a second, a scene pattern, you can actually have, it's not quite a 6 by 6 sheet, but you can really show off that scene in the middle. I had to really refrain from decorating all of the panels here because I thought it would be a bit much when the idea is that you open and see the inside there. So I only added a little bit on the side, which was really hard for me. But yes, I decorated the front and I used that bundle. Now the other one I made was using the Thoughtful Journey, I think it's called. And I use these scene patterns. This one's not. I wanted to keep it more subtle on the front. But when you open this one, this is the Thoughtful Designs specialty paper. Now, I'm not sure if the camera will catch it, but it's really... Hey, Jamie, how are you? Oh, the climate's not too bad. That's good. It's really hard, but it's like a foiled ombre, so that's really cool. Now, this one opens up to be one of those scenes. So I wanted to cover a little bit to have a spot for writing, because you could add it on the back if you wanted to. You could have a panel of writing on the back, but I just added it in the middle. So it looks cool with the scene. You could add even, like, if you didn't want to do much writing, you could make that piece smaller to show off more of that scene pattern if you wanted to. The only thing is you can't really add too much decoration in the middle, like nothing too chunky. I've added sequins because that will impede this closing. Now, I have a couple of tips which I'll show you because I learnt the hard way as I go along. But yeah, it's really cool. It's cool to show off some of this specialty paper in the middle as well. So this one is, yeah, I'll put it on my blog, but this one's the Thoughtful Journey, and I've done some heat embossing and all sorts of things. I did decide to go with this one to show you because it has a couple of cool techniques that I thought I would show you in here. So that's why I opted to do this one, but I'm making it in metric. So I do have on the PDF, this is how organized I am, only because I postponed last night, so I was able to do more of this. But I do have the conversion. So I will show it in metric today, but I definitely have it in Imperial, which will be up after this video, probably in a couple hours. And you can just do it with that. I'm actually preferring the Imperial because you don't have to use a 12 by 12 sheet of cardstock. So it's up to you which one you do. Okay, so let's get started. I have cut my pieces ahead of time. I've got all these little bits here, but I'm going to show you the basics of putting together the mountain fold card first. So I've got all kinds of mess on my desk at the moment. Oh, thanks, Jamie. It was a fun card to make. So I have got, there for the mechanisms, but you want a card base first. So I'm using Melon Mambo, a nice bright colour. Hey, Jenny, how are you? So I have, for my card base, got a piece. This is just an A4 piece because it's 14 by 29 centimetres, and I've scored it in half at 14.5. So with Imperial, it's 5.5 by 11 and folded in half. So that's your base. And then I have taken a bit of 12 by 12 cardstock for the metric one. Otherwise, if you choose to do the Imperial, the style of card is called a mountain fold card. That's what Shruti called it, so I'm just going to stick with it. Okay, so this piece for the mechanism, you'll need two exactly the same, and this is the length of a 12 by 12 piece of cardstock. Hello, Chrissy, how are you? So when you get just cut the full length, and you want to cut it at 14 centimetres, and just keep the whole length. So that's what we're going to do, and then I do have a template for this, which I'll pop on the PDF as well. But as I said, I'm just going to, rather than confuse everyone by using two measurements, you'll be able to do the conversion when you see the PDF. So let's get started. I'm going to hopefully not make any mistakes, because you should see how many I did when I was making the card. So I'm going to pop this in my trim, and I'm going to line that up at 1.5. So the first score's there. And then I want to go, I probably need to pull the arm out too. I should have been more organised and done one of the mechanisms, but I didn't. Okay, 1.5, and then we're going to go along to 8.5. And then 15.5. And 22.5. Okay, so they're all of the scores. There should be 4 scores. You've got your small one, and then these 3 are going to be the triangle, and this is going to be the pull-out piece. Okay, so then I want to turn this piece and pop it in, and I want to line it up at 1.5. And then what I'm going to do with the 1.5 is I'm going to use the cutting blade this time and cut that down to that first score line there. So you should have a little flat piece like this. Now I'm going to flip the cardstock over and do the same. So I'm going to line that up at 1.5 and cut that down to the score line there. So I'll have 2 flat pieces like this. And then I'm just going to grab my scissors rather than do it in the trimmer. Shaky hands today. And I'm just going to cut those away, so we don't want these pieces. Now the other thing I'm going to do to this mechanism is I'm going to line this up at 1.5, and I'm going to start at 1.5 down. So this is when I'm going to use this, what do we call this? The arm. Because I've got the metric arm on, I can actually see this little line here on the blade, which is really probably hard to see. It's this little line on the blade. I'm actually lining it up with the 1.5 on my ruler to the right. So I'm going to line that up, and then I want to stop at 1.5 up from the 14. So I'm going to go to, what is that, 12.5? So I'm actually just cutting right on that score line. So down to 12.5. Now this bit was hard to describe in the instructions. Ooh, I lost my scoring blade. I don't know how many times I do that. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is move this slightly along, like just a little bit, and then I'm gonna go again at exactly the same measurement. Doesn't matter if it's not perfectly exact. Now what this does is gives you the tiniest little bit. It's probably honestly like 2 mil. And I'm going to cut that out. Now what that did was it gives me the tiniest bit of room to pop that. Oh, have fun at 100th birthday, Christine. That's exciting. Okay, I'm just going to use my craft knife just to pop out this little tiny piece. And it makes it easier when you see the little piece that's got to come out. So you should have a tiny little slit like this. Okay, so you get to see me run through it once more. And I'm not going to fish under my desk for a scoring blade, so I'm pretty sure I've got a spare in here. Okay. Let's grab that little nifty guy, and I'm going to bring this back in again. Now we're going at 1.5. Pop your, I have accidentally used the cutting blade before, so I want to pop that up the top. Okay, so 1.5, 8.5, 15.5, and 22.5. Now I want to do the same, so I'm going to line this up at 1.5 again and cut that down to that score line, flip it over and repeat that step. Now I'm going to grab my scissors and cut these little guys off. So I've put a template for this step, mechanism step, up in the PDF. Now we want to take it over to this small score, line it up at 1.5. So you've got that score line in the track. And then we want to start at 1.5 again, go down to 12.5, move it along slightly and do the same, which will give us that little track we need. Okay, I'm just gonna, I could do this with scissors, but I find it a little bit easier with a knife or a scalpel, whatever you call them. Pull that out. Okay, so that's our two mechanisms basically prepared. Now I'm just going to grab my my bone folder, and I'm just going to reinforce these scores. Okay. Now I've done my mechanisms the same colour as my card base, but that's completely up to you. So we should have two mechanisms that look exactly the same. And I'm spilling coffee everywhere. Okay. Now we want to bring back in our card base. Now I'm going to use liquid glue. I'm a liquid glue girl. Some people prefer what do we call it? Tape or whatever you like. Goodness. I'm confusing myself. Okay. Now, what we want to do is add our glue to underneath this piece, which is going to stick to the end, and then we're going to wrap around and back through, so that forms a triangle, if that makes sense. So I'm just going to make sure, I think I did my, I reinforced my score lines the wrong way, but that's okay. It's easy enough. Okay, so now we're going to pop this out. Now the easiest way to remember is to have, you want to adhere this, but have your fold so it's, your mechanism, so it's facing into the card, over the card. You don't want to score it with this piece going that way. But this flap, you're not going to stick it the same way the card's folding in. You actually want to fold it under and stick it. So the card base, Chrissy, is 14 by 29, so it's scored at 14.5. So the actual card is 14.5 by 14. Yeah. Okie doke. I've got all the measurements, so I'll put those up with the details in a couple of hours, because I wait for the video to upload and then pop the video link in there. Okie doke. So I'm going to add my glue to the underside of this little flappy, and then I'm just going to line it up to my card base. So I just eyeball it, but you can use grid paper or another way to do it is to have it open and to line it up that way. Okay, so then that piece is ready. Now I'm going to fold this piece in, but fold it underneath. So I want to, it'll be easier to show this way. I'm going to fold it underneath, and that little slit that we made is actually, we're going to pop the end of that through so it forms a triangle. So you should have a triangle looking like this now. Now what I'm going to do though is I'm not going to fold that up yet because I want to adhere the other side first. It makes it a lot easier. So I'm going to add my liquid glue to the underside of that flap. So here's the other way you can adhere it, is you can line up those pieces and you'll feel them butt up against each other and just fold that flap down, but just make sure it's all nice and even when you turn that over. I want to make sure it's nicely adhered and even. Okay, so we should have a super long piece like this, okay? So now what I'm going to do is fold them as triangles, make sure it's pulled so it's tight. And what I found and easiest is to grab a piece of post-it note tape or removable adhesive, and you want to pop the adhesive underneath to hold that triangle piece in place so that it's not going to move. Now we should get in the document, there'll be a list for 2 bands that you need to cut. Now I found that the 12 by 12 piece of cardstock was enough to get my 2 mechanisms plus these 2 bands. So these are cut to 1 centimetre by 30.5. Now what we're going to do is actually pop our band in against the edge of the triangle that's closest to the middle of the card. Now you want to butt it right up against that edge of the triangle and then fold these pieces over underneath there and then fold the other one. Now I just did this by hand, I didn't use a scoring blade or anything. You just want to make sure that they're right against that edge of the triangle. Add a bit of liquid glue. So pop that against that edge. Now make sure these are as straight as you can because I didn't do it perfectly straight on the other one, and you'll see why it's important that it's straight, because I will show you. So make sure that's nice and tight. Okay, and then we're going to add some adhesive to this other piece. Oh, that's not quite enough. And just stick that band down. So it doesn't matter if you get glue because this is going to be covered. So we want to make sure that that's nice and well adhered. Okay, that's why it's good to have the post-it note tape, because otherwise this goes a bit wanky. I think I didn't adhere it quite as straight as it should be. But that's okay, because that's why I use liquid glue, because you can move it. It's great. Okay, that is good. But you don't want to adhere glue. Hello, Megan. You don't want to adhere glue to that middle bit in there. Okay, so now that's adhered. Just want to add a little bit of glue there because that was sticking up. I didn't like it. Okay, now I'm going to pop that down for a second because I'm going to do the other side. So same thing, we want to fold this to the middle of the card, and then our little flap wants to go through that slit there until we form a nice triangle. And then I'm going to do the same thing. To make it easier, I might turn up the triangle and pop my post-it note, and I might do the same on the other side because I think it was moving around a little bit too much. Did you girls have fun together yesterday? Did you get some puppy cuddles, Megan? Okay, so I've got my band again, and I'm going to pop that through, lining that against the edge of that triangle piece. Now I think I'm going to adhere this one straight away, and then pop my glue on on this piece, holding that in place. That was a lot easier that time, so maybe follow the second example. Okay, we're good to go. Now I can remove that post-it note tape. So what we have now is our card. So now it's going to pull out into that mechanism and it's all good to go. What I'm going to do though is just reinforce those center scores. Okay. And then it's all hunky-dory. Okay. So I'm going to do the dodgier one as the back. Now what we're going to do is grab our next bits and pieces. So I have 2 bits of DSP and 2 bits of the cardstock, which I'm going to use for the card front. Now that's why I liked using these fun patterns that you can see a lot of it that you don't want to cut down, because I mean, who would want to cut that down? It's just beautiful. It's not 6 by 6 though. These ones are cut to 13.6 by 14.1, and then I've done these 0.2 of a mil bigger, so 13.8 by 14.3. So I've done 2 exactly the same. So I want to adhere these to each other. So I'm just going to go ahead and stick these down. Now I did a big fail on my other card. I stuck the front down before I had put that band around. So then the band would have had to go over the top of the DSP. So make sure you do this after that mechanism is all put together. You don't want to try and cut some corners there. Okay, let's stick this one. I loved watching that demo yesterday. That was Puerto Rican. Her laugh was cracking me up. She's so full of energy. I wish I had her energy. What's this? Miss Delphi is just gorgeous, and Mr. Chippy was amazing. Got lots of cuddles. Oh, yeah, I would have trouble. I wouldn't do any crafting, I don't reckon. Okay, so these ones now can go onto the front and back. So I'm just going to make sure I've got these well glued, because we don't want bits coming up. Now one side of this layer is bigger than the other because the card is actually not square. So she was too happy. I wish I had the energy. Okay. I know I've seen her somewhere. I just couldn't think of where. Like online, I mean. Okay. I needed the energy yesterday, honestly. Okie doke. So I'm going to stick this one to the back of the card. So it's good to have a layer because otherwise you will see those bands that are holding the mechanism in place. Rightio. So that's the basics. We've got our decorations, and then we just need to start adding some more papers. So this one's going to be, pull this out. These are the pieces I have chosen for the inside of my card, but I wanted to show you. So the actual document says 6.8 by 13.8 centimeters, which is the size of 1. But what I did was I actually got my piece of pattern paper. So I'll just use an example. I got my piece of pattern paper and I cut it to the right height. So if you can see, it's a bit shorter than the 6 by 6. And then I cut off 6.8 for my first one, moved it along and cut another 6 by 8. What that does is get you a pattern that actually will line up, and that's how you can do the seam papers. So I'm just going, and look, the back of it's all the pretty one, but I'm going to use the other side. I'm cutting into my favourite pattern and not showing it. Okay, so I know that this side's the one that I want facing that centre panel. And this is odd for me to put pattern paper down without adding a layer of cardstock. Now I want to add this side. Okay. So another reason I didn't come on live last night was because my partner and his father decided that last night was going to be time to move or put the TV up on the wall. And so it was just all going on in the end, and I just thought, oh no, I can't do a live video with all that noise and stuff going on out there. Okay, so I think that's good. Now I'm pretty sure this side was the one that I didn't line up correctly, but that's okay. So that first one that I did, it wasn't quite, you need to make sure when you do that triangle, you've got it taped and it's well taped so it doesn't move. Okay, so then I'm going to put my center panels on. Now with this one, I added a lot of glimmer, so there was a lot going on, and I decided to tone it down a little bit for this one and go with these. This is some beautiful specialty paper that we have in the catalogue. It's called wood grain specialty paper or something like that. And I thought I could still go with the white, but maybe, so now you see me wing it. Someone sleep half on my back all night. Okay, so I thought maybe I could add a little bit of colour. So now I'm really going to wing it. So let's just hope it doesn't go totally awry. I'm going to bring in my piece, and I've got Melon Mambo ink. I'm just going to add a little bit to my blending brush. This is the inkiest ink pad because it's only new. I replaced my Melon Mambo, and so now it's very, very well inked. Okay, so I'm just going to add my melon, and then I might come in with some pumpkin pie. Let's see, I think my pumpkin pie might be new as well. I sort of had a big ink stash up because my pads were quite old, so I wanted to get some new ones. Okay, so I've got a bit of my pumpkin pie, and then I'm going to go in with some Daffodil Delight, and I think my Daffodil Delight's the one that actually needs re-inking. Okay, I want to get that little blob out of there. This is the stuff that I decided to do live, and it takes ages. Okay, this bit's annoying me. Okay, and then I might just sort of blend that out a little bit. Oh, that's pretty. It's got texture and lots of colour. Okay, hey Carly, how are you? Yeah, I'm not usually, this is a very odd time for me to go live. It's just I had a lot going on last night in the end. I usually go live on a Saturday night. But I caught a nice time to go live because Adam's at work and it's a bit quieter in the house. Mind you, so when I go live, he's usually just outside the door in the lounge room. The boys are gaming in the lounge. Well, he's moved his stuff into the men cave, finally. So they've got their own room that they can go and be loud in, and I don't have to worry about all the boy mess that I've got to clean up out here. Their room's their problem. Okay, now I'm going to go in and... Yeah, it's cool. Have you been doing any fluid art? Is that what we called it, resin art? Okay. Now I'm getting pink up in the yellow. So you could add whatever you want on the inside here. I just thought that I had a lot of glimmer going on that original one. It's just, oh, that one's needs a bit more colour. I love the texture of this wood pattern. It's really fun. Okay, so I've got two more. This pink is so inky that it makes it really quick. Okay. some more yellow. Move this. I think I need a new bit of paper because I'm moving the colours into each other now. It's my job to re-ink my daffodil after this. One more to go. Probably good to use up some of this pink one to tone down that ink a little bit. It's going crazy. Elijah said he was going to make a card with us yesterday when my friend Donna was here, but he didn't end up making one, so I think I'll have to get him to, maybe I can convince him to do a live video and make a card. I almost had him on board yesterday, but we ended up playing a whole lot of low-key Cluedo, which was fun. I don't know if anyone here watches the Loki series on Disney. I've watched it from afar, but not well enough to know all the characters. It's a very Marvel household. Okay. I think almost done. Okay, pretty. Now I'm going to move all this ink because otherwise I'm going to make a mess. I've got very inky fingers. Okay, so then with these panels, we can adhere all of them to the card now. So they're just going to go on each of these sections. So this card is a little bit different from the one I showed at the beginning because it's just got some different colours and different patterns. I thought I would change it up. Love season 1 of Loki, but no, oh no. Well, I think, I'm pretty sure it must be Adam's Disney. I don't know, I don't have a login, but I watch what the boys are watching. Actually, I was watching something on Disney the other day. I forget what it was called. I have a very different taste in things to the boys, so I usually tend to watch stuff on my own because they watch really weird stuff. It's not my forte. This one is just a touch too big, so you're going to see me do something real crazy because it's got glue on it. And I'm just going to trim. I don't know what I did with this one, but that's just a touch too big. And that's upside down. Okay. It can be the slightest thing, like a slightly different score line that will do that. Okay. I have such inky fingers. Or gluey fingers. Okay. Right, that is those pieces. Now we want to add some pattern to these side panels here. So I have cut 2 bits of designer series paper to go there, and those these pieces are 7.8 by 10.8. So I'm just going to adhere those down to those little pull-out panels. Do I want the orange? No, I'm going to have the orange at the top now. I've just ever so slightly tucked it in. Okay. See, this is why I need to use liquid glue, because I've got very shaky fingers and I always get it crooked or in the wrong spot, or cut it too big and then have to recut it. Okay, so I'm just going to do the same with this side. Oh, it's sliding in. We don't want that. So I like to put all of my mechanism and fold together, and then I decorate. So I've got my 2 side panels. Those patterns look so cool together. Now I'm going to shut my card to closed, and I've got 2 bits of glimmer, which I'm actually going to stick to these little pull-out handles. You could leave them as they are, but I love adding glitter to everything. Glitter and colour. Okay, so I'm going to stick that down. And then on the back, I'm going to stick this other one down there to the back, just to have a little bit of pretty going on there. So that's all of our paper stuck down. The other bit of paper I did have in here and stuck down was just my little writing panel. So I'm going to take the bit of basic white though and get my pink again. So I've got my Melon Mambo, and I'm just going to add a little bit in this corner. And then I'm going to get, I'll try it with the daffodil and see if that's strong enough. Just to add a little bit more colour. I think I need to actually not dab it off. It's quite light compared to the pink. I'm going to get a little bit of the pumpkin. Just add a little bit of that in. Okay. Now while I'm at it, I might even spritz a little bit of a pumpkin pie Stampin' marker. Now these bits here aren't in, these are not in the measurement sheet because they're optional. So I've just added a tiny strip of pattern paper to the edge of this piece. And I think I need my fine line glue because I struggle with not getting that glue absolutely everywhere. I'm just going to add the tiniest bit of liquid glue. And I've got a tiny bit of glimmer paper, which this one is the peach pie from the In Colour glimmer paper set. And I'm just going to add it edged on the top of that. So it's the tiniest bit of detail, but I love it. Now, the reason you have to do that first is because we're going to adhere it here. Now, adhering stuff on glimmer can be challenging. I'm just going to go, I don't have any Stampin' Seal, so I might do a little bit of tear and tape because it's got all that texture going on. So glue, you could probably use glue, but it would take a bit to dry. So I'll peel this up. I did forget to stamp, but that's okay. So I will show you the first one. In the middle of this one, I have stamped a little leaf in there too, and I've stamped a sentiment. So I suppose we can quickly grab the little sentiment. Oh, there's a sequin. Okay, I'm going to go with same colour I used on the previous one, which was Blueberry Bushel. And I'm just going to ink up my stamp. Oh, hello Sue, how are you? Is that the stamp set that goes with the DSP? Yep, it is. Okay, so I'm just going to stamp that down. Now, this is the bit, I want that to go in there, but obviously you can't fold it in the middle. You can, it'd probably be really, it would give you a big crease. So I want to cut this piece in half. So for metric, that is 5.1. And for imperial, it's something weird, like 2 1/16. Okay, so I've got that in half, and then I want to adhere this one down. Do you know, I am a really tidy crafter, but when I do a live video, stuff is everywhere. Show the stamp again, Megan, or the DSP? Okay, so I want to adhere the first half to the, just next to the score line. And then I'm going to adhere the second half, same direction, so you can see it goes together. Just in there. Now I need to find the top of my glue. Oops. This is the stamp set here, so it's the Friends for Life. It's got a few images and most of it is sentiments, but the dies that go the dies that go with it are amazing. Here are the dies that go with, which are 10% off this month. Really cool. And you will see I've used some of the dies in a second. Okay, so that bit is all done. We've got everything stuck down as far as papers and layers go. And I did forget, hold on, you have to make sure these corners are definitely glued because the mechanism will catch on those. Now, I did forget a step which I learned after I'd made my cards, and it's going to be a bit tricky to show you, but we'll do it anyway. So in here, at the edges of this this mechanism that attaches to the little flaps, so you've cut that out, it's actually better to miter those edges. So I don't know if you can see that. The reason for that is that it goes into that slit a little bit better. It's optional, you can do it or not. If you find that it's having trouble sliding in and out, I just found that when I did this, it worked a little bit better because it sort of starts to go in and then it doesn't catch as much. So yeah, you want to make sure that these layers are really well stuck down. For some reason, oh, it's because it's glue. It's glue paper. Yeah, so because if they start lifting the corners, that fold there is not going to want to go in. And oh my gosh, stuff is hard to stick to glimmer. Probably need a glue dot. Okay, so let's move back to the front of the card. Now I found we have got a lot of layers going on here, so if you find that it needs an extra score, just go in and use your blade score there. Not your blade, your bone folder. Okay, so now we need to do the front of the card, and this was where I used one of the dies and it was a lot of fun. So I've got, here's some I prepared earlier, but what I'm going to use is some of the foam adhesive sheets. So if you haven't seen these, they come in a little pack like this. Not sure of the item code, it's probably on the back here. 152815, and I think you get 5 sheets or something, but what I did was I peeled off one side of the foam adhesive sheet, so it's got a double-sided piece that peels off like this, and I have stuck that to some basic white cardstock. Now what I'm going to do is take this die, that's the 2 hearts, and I'm going to reuse some of this post-it note tape here, but I'm just going to stick, I'm going to use that to hold those 2 dies in place. I'm going to bring in my little mini machine here. Now this is thicker because it is foam. I'm just going to run this through a couple of times. Now I found if I ran it through this way, and then if you haven't, you can flip it over and see how well it's cut. But if you flip it up with the die at the bottom as well, just to make sure it's really well cut, and just run it through with the die facing up as well. And that'll make sure it's nicely cut. Okay, so now I want to peel this up carefully. And what I'm going to do is, because I've got when I do a video, I tend to not have my glass mat showing because it reflects. So I'm just going to grab my silicone sheet, peel this post-it note tape off. Now this heart die is actually attached, so I want to grab my snips and just cut the heart so that it comes loose. Okay, you can get rid of that if you want. Now what I want to do is actually peel my die up, and you've got all those little pieces inside there. So what I am going to do is actually peel the backing off this, and those pieces should stay in place. I'm going to stick this down to my silicone mat and then pull up, because I want all those little pieces to stay there. So I'm just going to, they start coming up, I'll just use my silicone was doing this on a glass mat when I did it, so hopefully it's roughly going to work the same. Okay. It's like holding your breath, making sure it will work. Okay. I'm out of there. It's about now that I get shaky hands at the really wrong time. Okay, you know what? I'm just going to pull those last pieces out. I think this is easier on the glass mat. The only reason I don't use it is when I'm videoing is because it does reflect. Although I did hear someone say that you can put, what is it, blocks underneath when you're filming. Okay, so I want those roughly to go where, we'll just place them roughly where they should be. And you'll see why in just a tick. That one, the backing didn't actually come off. Okay, so that's roughly where they should be anyway. That one faces out. We just need them to sit roughly in the place that they're going to be. Now, this little piece here, we'll just leave there for a second. Now, we want to colour these little pieces while they're sitting here. So just give them a press down for a second because we want them to sort of stay. Now, I'm going to grab my inks back in. So I'm going to grab the Melon Mambo and a little blending brush. And then I'm just going to lightly, you don't want to do this too rough, otherwise the little pieces will come up. And we want them to sort of stay in place for a minute while we colour them. So I'm even just dabbing them. Okay. Then we're going to take a pumpkin pie and do the same thing. There's always going to be a naughty one that just doesn't want to stay. So for him, he's going to get just dabbed, I think, because he does not want to stay there. If you've got the glass mat, I would recommend doing it on there because it was a lot easier. Okay. This little dude, honestly. She'll be donkeys. Then we want to get the last colour, which was the daffodil. And then make sure that that one's just laying over the top. So I'm sort of doing an ombre colour to these hearts here, or to the little pieces that go in the heart. I'm just going to dab that little piece in the ink pad. It's easier. Okay. That is all coloured. Now I'm just going to pop, you can see I'm terrible for losing dies. Okay, I'm going to bring my card back in, and then this negative piece here, I actually want to stick to the centre of my card. Now there are two pieces to this, so you may have to move it slightly to get it sitting in place. I love my Take Your Pick tool, it's such a handy tool. So I just want to stretch that little bit over the top because it's moved slightly. This little piece comes up so you can sort of manipulate it around the heart again, like that. And then I'll do the same thing with this side, I think. Make sure it's nicely wrapped around. You could actually not use this outside piece if you don't want to. As long as you have that middle heart in there. Okay, now what we're going to do is actually place these little pieces that are coloured right back into that heart, and that's why I like having them. Not only that, it's for the ombre look. it's why it's handy to have them on that sheet and in the same original spot, because it makes piecing them back together super easy. You just probably need some kind of pokey tool just for when they don't play the game, just to poke them back in there. And the other thing we could do is cut this twice, once with the foam adhesive sheets and once without. You can either do that background heart. I do need a magnetic bowl. I have looked at one on Amazon. I forgot what I was saying. Oh yeah, sorry. You could make the outside heart with cardstock and these inside pieces with the foam, so you kind of get two heights. That would also look really cool. Right, so this is like a puzzle, but fun and colourful. Okay, where did this one go? Down the bottom, I think. I love this design, it's so much fun. I can see myself using this die lots. Okay, we're almost done. Two more little pieces. And that's all back in place. Now give it a little press though, make sure that they're all nicely stuck. You don't want them to move. Now I think on the original I did add some, oh, your magnetic bowl, Sue, you got from Aldi. I have just added a little bit of Winker's Stella to the little inside pieces, which is probably easier to do while they're still on the mat, to be honest. But you know, I never do anything the easy way. I'm just adding a little bit of sparkle to those. Probably need to add some more down the chamber. I love my Winker's Stella. I probably need a new one every week. Oh, I missed one. Now I'm just going to add some. Oh, I definitely need some more. That's better. Okay, lots of glitter. Now what I'm going to do is add the other little bits I need for the front of the card. I will show you this piece first. So I've done the same thing with the... We don't have Aldi here. You guys are teasing me. We're lucky to have a Kmart. So I have done the same thing with the foam adhesive sheets on Melon Mambo cardstock. And one of the dies has this beautiful scripty friend. So I did that one ahead of time just to save a bit of time. The script can be more difficult to manipulate. Like, it can come out of shape a little bit. So try and just be gentle with this one and don't lose the dot of your eye. It's something I would do. Well, I have done it actually. I think I almost lost the one I made on Friday. Okay, so I just want to pop out the dot of the eye is still in the scrap negative piece, but I'm just going to pull out. In fact, it might be easier while it's still in good shape just to stick this to my card like it is. So I want it to be roughly there. That way I'm not going to lose the original way it's sitting. And I'm just going to use my little take your pick tool to then pull out the bits that I don't want. The really handy end for doing that is this kind of weeding tool, I think they call them on this thing. It's really handy for getting in there and doing stuff like that. Now I've got the little dot to my eye in there, but I'm just going to add, because I really don't want that to fall off, I'm just going to add a touch of liquid glue because it's only such a tiny piece that I do not want that to go astray. Oh, I'm so shaky. Okay, then we're going to do a quick little bit of super cheap order. We do have that. I'd have to check. Okay, so I'm going to add a stamp from my stamp set, and I'm going to use the word best because this is going to be a best friend card. Now there's just a simple little technique I use for this one. So I've got my stamp and I want to use Balmy Blue. It does look like a dentist tool. So I'm going to do some Balmy Blue. Now I'm going to stamp up the whole stamp in the Balmy Blue. And then I'm going to take my pad of my Blueberry Bushel and just ink up the bottom of this stamp and take a little blending brush and just blend. Now, because the Balmy Blue's been sitting there, I'm just going to blow some hot air on it just so that I know that that ink is nicely activated. And then you get this cool ombre looking stamped image, which is cool. Now, I'm going to do that thing that everybody either loves or hates, and I'm going to quickly fussy cut these letters. So they're easy letters to fussy cut because they're very straight lines. So just, I think I did this in last week's video where I was showing some fussy cutting tips, but just make sure that you move the paper and not your scissors, and try and use the back edge of your blade. That definitely helps when it comes to fussy cutting. You can get them there. I will have to go and check for Super Cheap and then make an excuse to go to the pet store next door and buy dog toys. Sounds like a good plan, doesn't it? Okay. So I feel like I'm doing this video in the daytime when I've got light coming in the window, but my eyesight is just getting really bad these days. Okay. So this week I ended up in hospital and I had a significantly bad migraine, so I had to go and get a pain injection and go on fluids, and the doctor was talking to me about my eyesight. She's like, do you wear your glasses all the time? I was like, yeah, I do, but it's just my head. She's like, what's going on at home? I'm like, not enough sleep. Okay. I avoid going to the hospital at all costs because I hate being in the emergency room and the loudness, the lights, and that's all stuff that you don't want to be in with a migraine, so that was not fun. Oh, really? They, well, I assume it's a big magnet bowl, so it would be heavy. Okie dokie. Okie doke. How big of a bowl do you have? Like just a tiny one, or? S's are probably the hardest ones to fussy cut, but they're not too bad. And the last one, which is easy because it's a T. Oh, you have two. Do you use them both? Okay. Dunskies. Our letters are fussy cut. Now, when I do letters, I always like to put them on the card before I stick them, make sure they're where I want them to be, especially with like words. You want to make sure that they're nicely spaced. Now, I'm going to overlap mine just a little bit. Make sure you've got the S the right way up with the ombre look. Okay. I am so excited for March. I cannot wait. Okay, so that's good. Now I'm just going to stick those down. I'm going to use I have got a precision glue press on the way. It's just been travelling around Australia at the moment. For some reason they sent it from Queensland to WA, but I should have it tomorrow, so I'm very excited. Okie doke. This card is almost done because I have pre-cut the other pieces, which was handy because I knew that this card was a bit more involved. That's funny, Chrissy. Do you have a whole craft shop, Megan? You being dobbed in? Okay. I say that to Leanne Kewen. because she has a craft shop in her room. Okay, so I've stuck those little guys down. Now for the front, I have die cut out some extra pieces. Those pieces are not for the front. I've got these little hearts which are cut from the dies. So there's a little a set of 2 hearts, and I've cut those from Shy Shamrock cardstock. The original one I cut from Berry Burst, but I thought I'd change it up for this guy. And I want to add 3 hearts to the front. So I'm just going to have them sort of in a triangle because that's how I like to add my embellishments usually. And I'm just going to stick these guys down. Should do these cards for swaps, Megan. Imagine the suitcase room. Wow. Okay. Now I'm going to use the iridescent faceted gems that come with this suite. I'm just going to, I had some that were, for some reason, had fallen out, so I stuck them to the top here so that I could use them. I don't like wasting embellishments. I'm just going to add a couple of these around the card. What have I got there? I need to have 5, and that's 4. I'm really obsessive about it being odd numbers. Now I'm just going to grab, I know I have, oh goodness, I know I have them in here somewhere. Where are they hiding? Oh, there they are. Right at the front, I have got some of these shiny sequins, and these were from the Zinnia collection, but they went so well with the bright colours, so I decided that they had to go on this card. I might add that many, so there's 3. So now that is the front of the card, but I'm going to add some decoration just to the panel here on the inside. So I have cut out some of this Summer Splash Glimmer with the big vine die, and I also cut one out of the DSP. So this was the same DSP that did this side panel here. I just cut out one of those images. Now I also stamped this little leaf image here in Granny Apple Green and die cut them out, but I'm going to colour those with you. So I'm just going to use some Lemon Lime Twist blends. Now, when you use blends, a lot of people think you can only use Memento black ink, but you absolutely can use any of our water-based classic inks because it just can't be an alcohol-based ink. So as long as you're using anything that's not water or probably pigment based, then you're totally fine. So I loved using the green with the green, so I'm just going to go along and add a little bit of dark Lemon Lime Twist. I'm not being too particular with it. I'll probably add another layer on in a second. So I'm just going over the whole leaf with the light Lemon Lime Twist. I've changed recently for liking using the light first and then the dark, whereas I used to be the other way, but now I've just taken to enjoying putting the light blend on first and then going back with the dark. And if I lose too much definition, I go back in with the dark again. So it's kind of light, dark, dark but you can do it either way. It doesn't actually matter. So I'm just going to add a little bit more on this one. That should do it, and then I will add some Winker Stella to my leaves, just really roughly and quick. Like that. Now what I want to do is go and stick down my pieces. So I'm going to sort of work out where they're going roughly, and it would be good if you use the adhesive sheets for these, but you know, I'm not adhering them onto glimmer this time. So the original card, I was adhering them onto glimmer paper, which it can be a bit of a nightmare to adhere stuff to. But this one is, I actually really like this one better with the wood grain paper, and I think I'm going to need another packet of that stuff because it's beautiful. So I'm just going to roughly, before I commit, work that out. And then I want to stick the glimmer piece on top. Actually, I'm going to stick one of my coloured pieces down first. I want that to be popped sort of behind this piece. Then I'm going to add a little bit more glue down here and just adhere that down, and then I'm going to stick my other leaf on top. Might even tuck it behind that little stem. I have got no nails whatsoever. Okay, we'll stick that down now. I think I chucked out my scrap of basic white, which was a bit silly. I'll just grab another one because I do want the sentiment that says love you. Here, just going to stamp that one in Blueberry Bushel as well. I never loved Blueberry Bushel, but now I'm a little bit in love with it. Gosh, I have been live for over an hour. It does not take long for me to go over the hour. Now I'm going to try and do this with my guillotine. I've taken to liking much and sticking my fingers in it, which is nice. Did that chop it off? I think it did. I've taken to liking my paper trimmer for cutting down sentiments, but it's annoying to pull the whole paper trimmer in, so. Okie dokie. So then this sentiment, I'm just going to pop over the top there. Which it might be easier with glue dots, but I'll try and get that stuck with the glue. Now I want to bring back in the leftover little hearts, and I'm going to stick a few of them onto my card. Hopefully you can see all of this okay. I'm going to stick to the same positions I had on the original. So I've got one down here in the left hand corner and one up here, and then one down in the cluster down here. Now I want to add some of the sequins. That's how the sequins came in, because I knew that I could use them a little bit easier because they were flat, and this is going to be folded into the card. So I wanted it to be a bit of a flatter embellishment. And there's no way I can leave a card alone without embellishing it. It just doesn't happen. It doesn't fly with me. And then I'll add some down here. Oh no, I've already got that colour. Needs to be a different colour, I think. Then got to have our glitter. So I'll add a little bit of glitter over the card. Little bits of dried up glue. That's beautiful. Now I don't think I added. Oh no, I might have added something on the inside. No, I didn't. I left it. So I left the inside like that. So then you fold it closed, and you've got this beautiful. I love it with the wood grain paper. I'll show you the other one in just a second. And then we've got the outside. So I think I actually prefer this version, to be honest, compared to the original one that I did, because I just love that wood grain. It's beautiful. And now this one here does require a handmade envelope because it is bigger than our standard envelopes. So that is the one I made today. And then this is the original. So this one has the rainbow stripe, whereas this one is more the blue and the green. But on the inside of this one, we've got the glimmer, whereas this one has the wood grain coloured that I've done ombre blend on. So you have to let me know which one you like better. The glimmer, which is a bit extra, you need some sunglasses on, or the one with the ombre blending. So we've got two different patterns on the inside too. Now, if you can see, this one's got a slightly uneven strip. Now that is because the triangle moves. So the biggest thing is keeping that triangle when you're putting this together with the band, keeping that taut and having it good. So it still works, it's just slightly uneven. And then the original one that I made, the first one I made, is this one. And that pulls out, that's got that specialty Thoughtful Designs paper, and that has the scene paper. Now, if you were at Creativity Now, if you're a demonstrator, that new autumn suite, that would look beautiful with those. I think it would look beautiful because it's got the scenery. There's some beautiful new things coming. So you definitely want to sign up so you can get those things early because they're very special, and it would look gorgeous. So they were the, this is called the Mountain Fold card. Now, if you didn't catch it, this is the imperial sized one. And today I made the metric size one. So you can see here, they're just a little bit, the imperial one is just a little bit shorter. So there's not much difference, but yeah, it was the only way I could get it to work with those dimensions. So I made matching envelopes for my cards. So this one is to go with the rainbow one that I made. And it's all sized to fit in there. Now I use the Jackie Williams tutorial for making envelopes, which is a super easy way to do it. Now these fit in there, so you can pop them in that handmade envelope. Now I have posted one before in one of these envelopes. They work just fine. So I just pop a bit of tear and tape on the flap there, and it's ready to go. It does cost a bit of extra postage though, but yeah, it's fine. I used a white chalk marker though, and they don't really dry, they do smudge a little bit. And then I made this one for the Thoughtful Designs, or Thoughtful Journey one, so they were a bit fun to make. But yes, I had so much fun. Now what I'll do is, that one just came off, I did actually apply some extra adhesive to the back of the sequins because they tend to fall off. Now, what I'll do is, those that were only here for the tutorial, feel free to log off if you don't want to watch me show some product, but I was going to share a couple of new things. I'll just pop this to the side. Chrissy, look what I have. I still have it here, ready to eat. I was just waiting for a moment to enjoy that. Okay, so I have, for those that have heard me talking about an event I did yesterday, I will share what I made, which I shared on my Instagram, but it was kind of a picture of all three. Oh, thanks Jamie and Chrissy and Sue. I think she would give Bruno a run. Oh, thanks Sue. I love Bruno's cards. So this was one of the cards that we made. Now this is using a new suite that's coming to the September to December catalogue. But demonstrators that were going to this event were able to pre-order it early. But as a demonstrator, you'll also be able to pre-order it in August. It's very cute. It's got birds, and it might be stale by now. Oh, I hope not. We'll see. Okay, so yeah, I made this one. I don't know what, I cut the base too big, so I had a little bit of a boo-boo there. But I made some matching envelopes while I was sitting there watching, and I used that wood grain designer specialty paper in the background, and I added some of the silver metallic enamel effects to the background of my wood grain. I also added some twine and some of the metallic textured foil to some of my designs. Then we made this one, and I loved the combination of Blackberry Bliss with the crumb cake and a bit of red. And I don't use my bronze and ivory. What is the wood grain DSP? I'll show you. So it's a bit hidden in the catalogue, but it comes with two 12 by 12 sheets like this, and that's the one I used today that I coloured on. So I did the ombre on that, and you get two sheets. I can't exactly remember. I will share just quickly because I know that it's just at the back here somewhere. Maybe I'm one of those people that uses the online store and not the catalogue. So when I go, oh, here we go, wood textured specialty paper. You get two sheets for $8.75. Really, really cool. I love it. And then we made this one, which was really fun. So we actually cut this frame out for this card and kept the negative that pops out and used that as a mask to go around the outside. I learned heaps of tips that I wouldn't have done yesterday. It was really fun. And also using watercolour pencils on smoky slate cardstock. I would never have done that before. So that was really, really fun. And then I didn't have the scalloped gift card boxes that they were using. So I actually just quickly made a box with some dimensions that was roughly the same size as a scalloped gift card box. So I had fun, but we used the metallic enamel effects, which is this stuff here. It comes in a pack of 3 with silver, gold and copper. And we've used it a few times on these cards. So once with a palette knife, it's scraped on the top of this box, which I'm not sure if you can see, but it comes out really textured, which is really fun. And also to make our own enamel dots. So it was a load of fun to use on these projects. Now, part of this new suite that's coming is actually this linen thread that's coloured, and I'm pretty sure I'm not 100% sure, but it looks like Night of Navy, maybe Garden Green and Copper. But I love linen thread. I love the normal linen thread, but to have it in colours is amazing. I need to get some more of it because I know that I will use it lots. So they were the projects that we made yesterday, and this was the bundle that we were using. So this one has the beautiful frame and the bits that cut out all these images, and I love the sentiments in this one. So that one will be available to pre-order in August if you're a demonstrator, or you'll be able to get it in the September to December mini catalogue. It has the sweetest papers, but I don't have them out in front of me. But that was gorgeous. Now, the other quick things that I got a box of goodies, but I didn't even have time to look at them. So they've been teasing me. What you're adding the wood grain is why I don't watch other demos. Yeah, good point, but it's amazing. Now I got, oh, this is the, look, I said I didn't have it out in front of me, but it was hiding. So I sat there, I sat there fussy cutting some birdies as well during yesterday. But yeah, it has really beautiful prints. This one has been one of my favourite papers in a while, actually. I love it. This one, I love this one too. Really cute. The only thing is, I'm like, I want to use it as a 12 by 12 sheet, but then one of the birds would be flying upside down or be a dying bird. I don't know. But I was like, oh, I can't really, or unless you cover it with something, you'd have to cover that whole strip. There'd be no point. Otherwise, there's a lot of dying birds up there. This one here matches with the dies, so you don't even have to fussy cut this sheet. They all get die cut out, which is really cool. I love the colours. Really, really beautiful. And these ones you can fussy cut out, which I love fussy cutting, so I don't mind. And then these cute ones. Now, this has potential to be Christmassy, but it doesn't have to be. So this one here, you know, you wouldn't look at that and go, that's Christmas. Really, really cute. And there's that sheet again. So that was the Ness of Winter suite that we used yesterday. Now I've got birds flying everywhere. I just think it's so cute. It would make a cute card like Jane. It would make a cute card like the one I shared today. Now I got this for free because I achieved higher than last year April sales. This one won't be for sale at all. It was for demonstrators that achieved better sales than they did last year. And they're going to do a special demonstrator only event. And Megan, do you know what? I am all set. I have cut, you'd be impressed. I've cut out all my supplies ready for the challenge as well. Like, I was really getting really organised. I was proud of myself. So this is Melon Mambo, Pretty in Pink, and Petal Pink. They're the colours. Now this, if it looks familiar, is the same as the one that came out with the blues. It's actually the same patterns, but just in pinks. Now I was actually surprised by it being pink, how different it is to the blue. Like, I didn't really recognise it. This is probably my favourite pattern. I love the foxes, really cute. And then there's the little trees, and there's this design, really cute. So it won't be for sale, but I'd just like to say that's one of the benefits of being a demonstrator. Stampin' Up is so generous. Now I've got to show, I love specialty paper. This stuff, it just doesn't, the catalogue doesn't do it justice. These ones are going to be, the things I'm showing you now are going to be online exclusive. So they will be available next month, or you can get them now and add them to a demonstrator kit. Yeah, I think it's nicer than the blue too. Yeah, do I have a lot of energy, Megan? Because I don't see it. The lady yesterday that we watched, she had a lot of energy. Now, oh, you mean cutting the kits? I was like, what are you talking about? This is gold mercury vellum. Now, let's all just take a moment to be sad about the fact that Stampin' Up got rid of vellum, because I was very sad, and I've hoarded some and I feel bad to share things created with vellum in my videos, but this stuff is vellum, but it's just gold foiled as well with this mercury design. Now, I wish you could feel it. So I'm a very sensory person. I love anything textured. This is amazing. I think it's so cool. I just want to sit here and just like sniff it or touch it or something. So that sounds terrible, but I love texture. That's why I love specialty paper. I am getting a sore throat, and I hope my son was coughing before, so I'm terrified that I'm actually sick. Okay, but I have been talking a lot as well, so I don't shut up. So that was the mercury vellum, but wait for it, because there is even more vellum. So say that. I got a special vellum gift yesterday. Vellum post-it notes. SU vellum is the goat. I actually know what that means. I know what goat means, and I'm proud of myself. It took me ages to learn. Okay, so this is called Golden Season of Green and Gold Specialty Paper. Now, when Donna and I were looking yesterday, my friend Donna that was here, I thought this would make a cool card like I did today. This smells so funny. Not yuck, but just funny. Yeah, it's really cute. Now, this is part of a Christmassy thing, but definitely not just Christmas. I mean, look at this. This is all foiled. I love it. Like, if you're not a demonstrator, I would definitely recommend being a demonstrator just for the pre-ordering opportunities, and you get 20 to 25% off these. But look at this. Oh, so cute. Stuff like this. This is an online exclusive, so it's not catalogued, which means that when this stuff sells out, it sells out. So if you love this stuff, you want to grab it while it's available. I did not even notice that one. This one's like foil overload. Like, that is insane. Really gorgeous. And then there's this pattern with like foiled stars. But I will share something with you in a tick. This one has matching vellum, which is so cool. Where did I put it? Here. So we've gone vellum crazy. This one's called Graceful Greenery Vellum. Now, this has designs on it, but it's sort of like, it actually looks like real snow on those branches. Stunning. And I have a feeling I was going to test it out, but this matches the dies. Now, this, someone that earned $1 million recently in sales, Susan Campfield, I think, Stampin' Up made her card, and it had vellum on it, and we were all like, where did that come from? But it was actually using this paper. Really pretty. And I've got two pieces together there, so it's a bit more translucent than I was showing. And then there's this gorgeous pattern, probably my fave. But yes, it's textured. It sort of looks like snow, and it's got that vellum appeal. But this one comes from a matching bundle, which is this one here called Golden Greenery. Now, these are photopolymer stamps. They feel heavier than usual. And then the dies to match have all the pieces to cut out those images. But what I wanted to test, I don't know if this is a thing, but I did want to test it. So I love these so much. And that's not particularly Christmassy. So if you're like me and don't really do Christmas that much. Okay. Let's see. Oh my goodness. Get out. This actually cuts these on the vellum. I knew it. I just had to test it. I love that so much. And then there was that other piece. Let's see. Does this cut out? It does. Winner. If you want those individually as accents, so cool. I know, Narelle. I'm on a Sunday because I got worn out yesterday, and my partner and my in-laws decided to kind of mount the TV on the wall and be loud, so I gave up trying. Okay, Plus it's very quiet because people aren't here today, and so it's really nice. Then this is the designer series paper, and look at that. I love it when they coordinate stuff like this. Epic. Now there was one I think I am getting sick. That's just yuck. This has got bells on it. I don't know if it does match the bells. Let's have a look. It does. It matches the bells. Look, there's just dies to everything in here. Cute. This is cute. I don't know. It doesn't match any of these. I don't think it matches the images on here. Or does it? What's this one? I don't think so. I think it matches the bells on this one. Really cool. Then I think, I don't have the thing in front of me, but I'm pretty sure this one matches. It has these little cherry cobbler and pearl adhesive backed things. Really cute. And then it also has a matching, I believe it goes with this one. So this one's got, this is how I lose dies. Greetings of the season. So it's got all these like seasonal words, but it comes with a matching die set. These are like tags, but I can see me using them as not tags. But the cool thing about that is it has an extra stamp set that you can get that has Beyond Christmas. So I love this one that says, when there's heartache, let there be healing. The anniversary ones are cool. That's really cool. Like, yeah, there's heaps of different things. I'm loving the font in the middle here. Really cute, and it matches. So I loved that one. And then, get back in there. I've got to put all these away after and put them all on magnetic sheets. Otherwise I freak out. My organisation session goes bonkers. One of these ribbons goes with it. I'm pretty sure it's this one. I did undo them so that I could have a look, but this is serious. Like, oh, you just want to sit there and just play with it. It's quite thick. It is, what is it? 3/4 of an inch wide, and I don't know what I'm doing there. So you could trim it down though. Not sure if it frays. I think it does, if you're like me and love pulling stuff apart and wrecking it. But yeah, it ties a nice big bow. Really cool. Or you can fray it by the looks of that. So you can have the frayed edges, rough it up a bit. So it looks like very vanilla, and that's a satin edge ribbon. Make really cool gift packaging as well. I'm just going to do that up. And then this one is what struck me because it's very textured. It's called just woven ribbon. It's 1/4 of an inch wide, but this feels so nice. No, Megan, do you know, I thought about that, and I thought, oh, I probably should see if I can make a bow live on the video for Megan. And then I didn't make a card that had bows on it, but I haven't had a moment to learn. I should have checked with Donna if she could do it yesterday. Didn't think about that. But yeah, this one's beautiful. I love this ribbon so much. And because it's vanilla, you can still colour it with blends. You don't have to stick to the vanilla. You don't just have to do that with white. It's a light enough colour that you can change up the colour of this textured ribbon really well. Now this one here reminds me, I don't know if anyone else remembers the ruffled ribbon or whatever it was called, but it came in like Tranquil Tide and Fresh Fig. I think that was the year that Lemon Lime Twist came out actually. It's got a textured edge to it, which is really cute. And this is white, so you could colour this any colour you want with some Stampin blends, or if you're really into the old school, you could like dip it in ink refill, if that's your thing. But now we've got blends, I just colour it with blends. So it makes a really cool bow, and you could do some ruffled edges. Chrissy, if you're still on here, Megan's picking on me that I don't know how to use the bow maker that Steve made. And she sent me a video, like, I've got to learn how to do it. So they're the ribbons. And then the other, I don't know where these ones came from, but they are pecan pie and clear ribboned adhesive back dots. So it sort of looks like they have ribbon in them. Have you used your bow maker yet? If not, Google 10-second bow maker from I Teach Stamping. Oh, there you go. I will have to give that a go. I think we did, Megan. Donna said that we did have a pink ribbon like that. I still have some of the ruffled ribbon. Yeah, it's gorgeous. Okay, so this one here is another funky bundle like the one that we have called Layers of Beauty. But this time it's a tree. I love the sentiments. I love the birdie. They're really cute. Your No Beauty shines brighter than that of a good heart, which is cute. And it has the matching dies, which you can make trees just with these dies on their own. And I love this little one here. It's not little, but makes the edge with the trees. Super cute. But the idea of this is that I haven't looked at any of this stuff, so I'm doing it with you. So this has those stencils that you can do to make a tree. So that's got the trunk, and then you've got the first layer of the tree, and then you add some detail. So you can make coloured trees. You could stamp this one and then colour the trunk. And then the second step is colouring the basics. So you could do a lighter green or whatever. Then you go back over and add a darker green. So you get a really cool, easy way to colour trees. And then these say A, B, C. So maybe, I think maybe that colours that one and that colours that one. And then I would assume that you then go to B and then C. I haven't had a play with these, but yeah, really cool layered stencils that can make really awesome projects. I'll just move this paper out of the way. And then I think, oh, there's only one more, I think, and it's this hybrid bundle. So I love hybrid bundles. It comes with this, I love Autumn too. Autumn is one of my, hey Brenton, I just found Blushing Bride Frayed Grow, is it Grow? I never say it correctly. Yeah, so this one, I love Autumn. So when I saw a sneak peek yesterday, I was very, very excited because autumn is my favourite season. I actually just wish our autumn lined up with the Northern Hemisphere, because when the new autumn stuff comes out, we're not in autumn, but it's okay, you know, I deal with it. We're going into summer when their autumn stuff's big. I should really send my autumn cards. I should have sent them a little bit ago when we're in autumn, because I never send them because it's the wrong time. But yeah, really cute. I love that. This one has the dies, which my lovely upline Kylie said that they're incorrectly numbered, which let's have a gaze. What have we got here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yes. So it says 10 dies, but this is counted as 3, even though it's one joined die. So the cool thing about this one is that you can stamp and die cut. So all of these at once, however that goes. I'm probably doing it completely wrong. Hold on. So you would stamp. Oh, it doesn't matter because they're individual stamps. No, I'm doing it wrong actually. I know what I'm doing. This here has a hybrid folder. So when the hybrid folders are awesome. So you can use this by itself, or you can actually die cut and emboss at the same time. So that snaps in there and you can put it through and do both at the same. Grow grain. Oh, so I was saying it right. Awesome. That's unusual for me. You can do some really cool inking techniques doing this as well. So I love these. They're so much fun. So there's that as well. And there's some beautiful, I love these little windows and the detailed leaves there. That's so cute. So I can't wait to use this stuff. I think the only other thing I had in the box was I got my new kit, so I was excited. I got the Expressions of Kindness, which is so beautiful. If you haven't seen the creativity kits, check out the link on the video, because these are gorgeous and great for beginners to avid crafters. There's so many options in these, but it makes what looks like 8 cards. But I love, they've got the matching envelopes, but these are actually foiled. So cool. There's 2 different types of card base, and you get these little die cut pieces as well. Beautiful foiling on these, and some gorgeous, like a matte foil. So beautiful. And there's actually a stamp. You get a set of gems as well, There's even an acrylic stamping block because of the stamps, so you get everything. And there's a really cute ribbon. This is probably my favourite kit in a long time. I love it so much. So I'll have to do probably an extra live to make that, I reckon, because I didn't have a new kit for when I did my crafty kits video. So I might have to do an extra live for that one. So you should see my desk. I'm honestly going to take a picture to show you the mess I have made in today's live, because it is next level in here. You just laugh at me when I say it's messy and it's not. But yeah, Brenton, I made this one. So it's called a mountain fun fold, and it has your little mountains. It was a lot of fun to make, and it wasn't too hard either. It's pretty easy. And we did some. I got a lot of I didn't get everything, Megan. I was restrained. I didn't get Halloween stuff, but I really wanted to get the one. I don't know what it's called, but it's got the Hocus Pocus, and I don't even do Halloween. I love Hocus Pocus the movie, so I was like, oh, I need to get that because I love the movie, but I didn't. I restrained. Oh, thanks, Jamie. I enjoyed being live, and it was fun today. I had a lot of fun. So I will pop up the PDF with all the measurements. So I've got the metric and imperial measurements and all the instructions in the video link after I download the video and pop it in. So don't forget, if you're wanting to take advantage of, there's a couple of things that are ending soon. So our 10% off dies and machines will be ending soon. And that includes the bundle, which I'm not even going to try and show you because it's underneath a big pile. They're 10% off. So you can get the one I used today and grab it at a discount. Also, if you are wanting the glass mat, it's coming on July 3rd, or you can join and add it to a starter kit. So great tool. I know a lot of people have been waiting for it to come in stock. Well, that's happening very soon. So thanks for watching today. I had a lot of fun showing you the Mountain Fold card and hanging out with you on a Sunday. It's a bit of an unusual time for me, but yes, I know, Narelle, get your glass mat. Have you got it yet? So yes, I had a load of fun, and I will be back next Saturday. I'm just going to double check the date. Hope it won't be as busy next Saturday, so it should be fine. The 29th. So that'll be my last June video, and then we're into July, which is crazy stuff. But yes, I will be here next Saturday. Thanks for hanging out with me, and I will talk to you guys soon. Mwah.